Welcome back to Good Day State Line. It is Fall Fun Week, and I think we found maybe the most fun place you could possibly go. We're at Havencrest Castle in Savannah with Alan St. George. Hello.
Hi, and welcome to Havencrest.
Yeah, there are so many things that I have to ask you about this place, but let's just start with, how did this begin?
It began as kind of like grandmother's house up on the hill.
Yeah.
So my late wife and I bought an old house. So a young couple buys an old house up on a hill. And we didn't intend for it to turn into a castle, but we kind of got carried away. So I'm an artist, a sculptor and a painter, and Adrian was also an artist, very creative. And so as time went on, and I had completed paintings and sculptures for the rooms that existed in the house, Adrian said, Alan, I think we're running out of canvases. So then we added more rooms, and it went on like this for 31 years. For me, much longer, because she passed 15 years ago.
Oh,
but that's how it became. Now, we didn't call it Havencrest Castle, we called it Havencrest.
Okay.
But then, once we expanded it and quadrupled the original size of the house, people started calling it a castle. So then it became Havencrest Castle.
So where did the name Havencrest come from?
Well, we just liked the idea of, it was a heaven to us. It was a haven. We were coming from Chicagoland, where I grew up.
Okay.
And we were looking for a small town, and just to kind of get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, you know. So this was a haven up on the hill, and crest, you know, it's the crest of the hill. And that's how we named it.
That's how it came to be. Well, now we get to introduce your buddy.
And this is Prince, Prince Jesse, a retired greyhound that's a new addition to the castle. He is the prince of all dogs and the prince of the castle.
He seems to know his way around. You said that he loves the ballroom, right?
The ballroom, yeah, because he can just take off and gallop in the ballroom. And, you know, he's much faster than I am. I will admit he always wins.
Yeah. How many rooms are there in the castle?
There's 63.
I was expecting you to say a little bit less than that.
But for the tours that we opened the house for, there's 26.
Okay.
But those are the most spectacular, most elaborate rooms. And because many of the rooms are storage, there's my private suite on the 3rd floor, which is not on the tour. There's the guest wing. There's studios, closets. There's there's all kinds of workrooms and things. So altogether, yeah, it's 63. But they will see the most spectacular rooms.
Tell me, what the tour entails for anyone who's interested.
It's a self-guided tour. We do them only twice a year, and so October is coming up.
Yeah.
It's the weekends only, Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Last tour is at 4 p.m. And, that last entry is 4 p.m. because it takes at least an hour to see 26 rooms. I would allow maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so it's self-guided with signs, but we also have a free app, so you can actually hear me kind of take people through the house with their phone, with their cell phone. They can listen
to
to
the QR codes when we walked in.
That's right. So there's
Very
a
cool.
QR code, and once you take your picture of that, it brings up the app, and you've got it, and that's all you need. You've got it for the rest of the tour.
There's so much in here. Even just walking in here while we were setting up, I asked you about this. Didn't realize you designed this. What did you call this again?
The medieval hall.
Yes, the medieval hall. This amazing castle and church, right? Kind of up here.
Yes, this is exactly. Yeah.
And you did all this,
Well, Adrian, my late wife, was the great visionary, so she had so many creative ideas. She was the most brilliant person I ever met. So I always say she was the head, and I was the hands, and together we had the heart, and that's what it takes, those 3 things.
And there's sculptures of the 2 of you all over this place, right?
Throughout, paintings, sculptures, you'll see more as we move through the house.
I love that you have the app with you telling the story, because just listening to you tell me about these stories and these rooms, I don't want to hear anyone else tell me about it. I only want
so
you
nice.
to do it. So that's a really
you.
important part of the tour.
I appreciate that. Well, it's fun to do, and it's fun to open the house for the tours, because people ask me, how do you feel about having strangers in your house? But Adrian loved to give events, to give birthday parties, anniversaries, Christmas. So I don't do that. That's not my skill. It takes a lot of talent to be a hostess and to do all that. So for me, it's just opening the house twice a year, all the lights are on, the music's playing,
Yeah.
and people are smiling again, and it brings a life back to the place that it's missing, you know.
Tell us how we can, book a tour.
It's very simple. You
Okay.
can just go to the website, which is havencrestcastle.com, and you'll see right away there's a place to click for tickets. And if you don't want to buy the tickets in advance, you can get them at the door also. So if you suddenly realize, I've got time today, let's go. It's Saturday, it's a Saturday, it's a Sunday in October, just get in the car and come out.
I can't wait to see all of our viewers come out here and then send us their pictures. And we actually have your chance to go to Havencrest with your family. Just head to gooddaystateline.com to enter to win a family 4-pack. Coming up next on GDS, it's Spirit Day, and we're making CBD-infused cocktails with the Bubble Hive. We'll be right back.
The preceding segment was sponsored by Havencrest Castle.